Now let's take a look back at the career of Australia's 30th Prime Minister Scott Morrison.
A man of faith who rose to Australia's top job.
I have always believed in miracles.
With a Sharkies hat and a nickname he gave himself, Scott Morrison was the ultimate marketing man of Australian politics. Prior to Parliament, he was best known for his controversial campaign for Tourism Australia.
So where the bloody hell are you?
Elected as the member for Cook in 2007, Morrison quickly rose through the ranks. In 2013, as Immigration Minister, he became the face of Tony Abbott's key campaign commitment.
To stop the boats.
After the boats did indeed stop, the hard man of Australian politics sought a softer side, first moving to social services, elevated again to Treasurer under Malcolm Turnbull.
This is coal. Don't be afraid. Don't be scared.
It left him in the box seat.
This is my leader. There you go. And I'm ambitious for him.
That ambition saw him emerge through the middle of a leadership brawl between Peter Dutton's Conservatives and Malcolm Turnbull's Moderates.
The successful candidate was Scott Morrison.
And Australia's 30th Prime Minister.
How'd you get the leadership? I talked to my colleagues. It was really them about who was in the best position to actually take us forward.
He took the coalition further forward with his shock 2019 election win, defying the polls and pundits to beat Bill Shorten.
These are the quiet Australians who have won a great victory tonight.
Mr Morrison wasn't quiet about his faith, proud of the role Pentecostalism played personally.
What this country needs more than that is the love of God.
He met wife Jenny through church. They would go on to have 2 daughters, Lily and Abby, after a long IVF battle.
It was excruciating, and it wasn't a couple of years.
A family holiday to Hawaii at the height of the Black Summer bushfires would become the first big blow of his leadership. His office evasive, his attitude defiant.
You know, I don't hold a hose, mate, and I don't sit in the control room.
It didn't get better when he got home.
I'm only shaking your hand if you give more funding to our RFS.
I don't really want to shake my hand.
That handshake would be used against him at the next election. So too allegations about the mistreatment of women inside the Liberal Party.
The system is broken.
The reckoning triggered by former staffer Brittany Higgins would engulf his government.
Jenny and I spoke last night. She said to me, you have to think about this as a father.
He would ultimately, though, be known as the pandemic Prime Minister.
Life is changing in Australia for every Australian.
Lives and livelihoods saved through his early call to close Australia's borders and spend billions in JobKeeper payments.
12 years of perfect employment, it all blows up in 24 hours.
Early praise for his pandemic performance soon shifted into criticism. Delays in securing vaccines would delay the country's reopening.
It's not a competition. It's not a race.
Tensions over the origins of COVID would see Australia's relationship with China plunge to new lows. Australians detained and exporters hit with $20 billion in tariffs. On the world stage, Scott Morrison cultivated a close relationship with Donald Trump.
Scott's a very strong man, a very good man.
The US alliance would go from strength to strength with the birth of AUKUS in 2021.
I want to thank that fellow down under.
The nuclear-powered submarine deal triggered a furious response from the French. Their subs deal scrapped, leading to this swipe from Emmanuel Macron.
Do you think he lied to you?
I don't think. I know.
I'm not going to cop sledging at Australia.
It would all come undone in 2022.
Take me to the April sun.
Out of tune and painted by Labor as out of touch.
That's not my job.
That's not my job.
Not even a frenetic campaign could save the Morrison government.
He probably came off a little better than I did.
The self-proclaimed bulldozer lost the election to Anthony Albanese.
I still believe in miracles.
Out of the top job and soon defending the several secret jobs he took when he swore himself into multiple ministries.
Why did you deceive the Australian public?
You mightn't understand it because you haven't been a Prime Minister.
Hauled before the Robo-Debt Royal Commission.
Why don't you ask your own departments?
Some of his evidence found to be untrue. Mr Morrison branded the process a political lynching by Labor.
They need to move on.
Now it's his time to move on, leaving a legacy in Canberra that will be debated and dissected for years to come. Trudy McIntosh, Sky News.